Hey guys, what's up? We have the full remaining list that makes up the legendary duelist Ancient Millennium, and most of them aren't surprising, but we do have a couple of remaining new cards to mention as well. The first card is Relinquished. This is a holographic rare. This is a dark spellcaster ritual level 1 with 0 attack and 0 defense. And its effect is you can ritual summon this card with Black Illusion Ritual. Once per turn, you can target one monster your opponent controls. Equip that target to this card. You can only equip one monster at a time to this card with this effect. This card's attack and defense become equal to that equipped monster's. If this card would be destroyed by battle, destroy that equipped monster instead. While equipped with that monster, any battle damage you take from battles involving this card inflict equal effect damage to your opponent. This card can steal a monster that your opponent has, the downside being it can only use one of them, which means if your opponent is able to attack through this twice, then it will go to the graveyard as the protection effect only lasts once. The ability to share the battle damage between yourself and your opponent means if they have fewer life points, they will have to be careful in how they deal with this card. The next card is Black Illusion Ritual. This is a ritual spell card that says this card is used to ritual summon Relinquished. You must also tribute monsters from your hand or field, whose total levels equal 1 or more. There isn't much to say about this card, other than it is the ritual card to bring out Relinquished, so it was needed inside this pack. This being one of the first ritual cards means it does not have any additional effects outside of its summoning. This card was first released in Spell Ruler as a super rare on the 1st of December 2004, and its final release was as a common in the Millennium pack on the 14th of April 2016, which wasn't that long ago. The next card is Pinch Hopper. This is an Earth Insect level 4 with 1000 attack and 1200 defense, and its effect is when this card you control is sent to your graveyard, you can special summon one insect type monster from your hand. This card is able to replace itself with any insect type monster, so you can bring it out a powerful insect for no real cost. In the anime, Weevil Underwood used this alongside the Insect Spray spell card to destroy it, to force Insect Queen onto the field. This was when he was facing Joey Wheeler in Battle City. This card has had 3 prints. The first was in Invasion of Chaos as a short print on the 18th of October 2005, and its last print was as a rare in Duelist League 13 on the 1st of December 2011. This was almost 6 years ago and would need this reprint very badly. The next card is Heavy Metal Raiders. This is a field spell that says 1. The first time each Dark Machine monster you control would be destroyed by battle each turn, it is not destroyed, and if you take battle damage from that battle, that monster gains an equal amount of attack. 2. Once per turn, if a monster you control whose original attribute and type are Dark Machine destroys a card or cards on the field by battle or its own effect, you can special summon one Dark Machine monster from your hand. Now, this is one of the 2 new cards that is yet to be revealed, and it is a play on Metal Raiders as in the first pack in which Barrel Dragon was released. It was the very first pack of the set. It is a first for Bandit Keith as he gets his own field spell, and it is not that bad. The first effect to provide once per turn battle protection is decent, as this can deal with cards such as Utopia the Lightning. However, the downside is that most of these monsters have decent attack, with one of the lower ones being Blowback Dragon with 2300 attack, and would argue that they would need card effect protection more than they need battle protection. I suppose the advantage of making your monster gain the attack increase means you can force your monsters to have the same attack as whatever it is trying to defeat them during that first battle. So if it was, for example, a Blue Eyes White Dragon, then it would make the card a 3000 attack beat stick. Now, as for the second effect, I believe this is much better. It provides a successful Field Swarm ability, provided you successfully destroy them with their effect or by battle. This means you can get 2 or 3 additional monsters onto your side of the field. For example, if you use Barrel Dragon to attack and its effect works, you can bring out a further 2 monsters, enabling them to then in turn trigger their effects. Overall, this card provides a reason to play them, and can be supported by unintentional support from other decks that rely on dark machines. An example being, you remember Greiger from Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. This was during the first tournament when he was facing off against Yusei. He used a combination of 3 monsters before going into the boss monster, who were Spell Reactor, Trap Reactor, and Monster Reactor. They had relatively weak stats. I mean, one had 800 attack and 1800 defense. The other one had 1200 attack, and I can't remember its defensive stat. It was very low. And the third was a level 5, and it had 2000 attack, meaning it was at some point quite difficult to get out. Now, with this protection effect and the increase in stats, they have the opportunity to cause further burn damage. The next card is Blast Sphere. This is a Dark Machine level 4 with 1400 attack and 1400 defense. And its effect is, if this face-down defense position card was attacked by an opponent's monster before damage calculation, equip this card to the attacking monster, then during your opponent's next standby phase, destroy the monster this card is equipped to, and if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the attack of the destroyed monster had on the field. This card can destroy an opponent's monster and make them take their attack stat as damage. This can be useful if you are trying to play defensively, or if your opponent has no idea what you are running. However, this cannot work on destruction protection cards. Also, since it works on your opponent's next standby phase, you could argue it is a bit slow, and in order for it to be successful, it would require you to not break their board entirely. You will want to keep that equipped monster on the field to trigger this effect the following turn. This card was first introduced in the Machina Mayhem structure deck as a common on the 19th of February 2010, and its last release was in Duelist Pack Battle City as a common on the 19th of June 2015, which was 2 years ago, therefore it required the reprint. The next card is Time Machine. This is a normal trap card that says, when exactly one monster is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, special summon that monster to the same side of the field it was on, in the same battle position it was in when destroyed. This is decent if you have a monster with a good effect, then bringing it back can be worth it. This was used in the anime by Bandit Keith to bring back Barrel Dragon, his boss monster. This card was first introduced in Crossroads of Chaos as a super rare on the 1st of November 2008 and has had a last reprint in Battle Pack 2, War of the Giants. This was on the 28th of June 2013. This was a common. This was released 4 years ago and so needed the reprint. The next card is Armed Dragon level 3. This is a Wind Dragon level 3 with 1200 attack and 900 defense. And its effect is, during your standby phase, you can send this face-up card to the graveyard, special summon one Armed Dragon level 5 from your hand or deck. This is the first of the Armed Dragon series and the lowest level. It does not have to be run, as the level 5 can be normal summoned by tribute summoning it, and can still use its effect to go into level 7 without needing this specific level up. It was first introduced in Soul of the Duelist as a common on the 1st of October 2004, and its last release was as a common in the Legendary Collection 3 Yugi's World Mega Pack on the 29th of September 2012. This was 5 years ago, and so it needed the reprint. The next card is Armed Dragon level 5. This is a Wind Dragon level 5 with 2,400 attack and 1,700 defense, and its effect is you can send one monster from your hand to the graveyard to target one face-up monster your opponent controls with attack less than or equal to the sent monster's attack. Destroy that target. During the end phase, if this card destroyed a monster by battle this turn, you can send this face-up card to the graveyard, special summon one Armed Dragon level 7 from your hand or deck. This is able to destroy any monster it wants to, provided they are face-up and you have the necessary monster in your hand. This has to be run as this is the only means of leveling up to level 7. This was first introduced in Soul of the Duelist as a rare on the 1st of October 2004, and the last release as a common in the Legendary Collection 3 Yugi's World Mega Pack on the 29th of September 2012. This was 5 years ago, and so would have required the reprint. The next card is VWXYZ Dragon Catapult Cannon. This is a light machine fusion level 8 with 3,000 attack and 2,800 defense, and requires a VW Tiger Catapult and an XYZ Dragon Catapult Cannon. And its effect is, this card can only be special summoned from your extra deck by removing from play the above cards you control. You do not use polarization. Once per turn, remove from play one card your opponent controls. When this card attacks, you can change the battle position of the attack target. Flip effects are not activated at this time. This card is able to banish your opponent's cards, making it difficult for them to recover. The ability to change the battle position means your opponent is left with the weaker position. For example, your opponent is more likely to put a Blue Eyes White Dragon in attack mode than defense. This card was released as a super rare in Elemental Energy on the 5th of November 2005, and has thus far only been reprinted once as a rare in Duelist Pack Chaz Princeton on the 8th of February 2006. However, this is almost 12 years old and has significantly needed the reprint. The next card is Oja Magic. This is a normal spell card that says, when this card is sent from the hand or the field to the graveyard, add one of each Ojama Green, Ojama Yellow, and Ojama Black from your deck to your hand. This card is able to search out your Ojama monsters to encourage the summon of Ojama King. This was released as a common in Elemental Energy on the 5th of November 2005, and the other print was as a rare in Duelist Pack Chaz Princeton on the 8th of February 2006. This also needs the reprint, as this has been a good 11 years. The next card is Competition Cross Dimension. This is the other new card that I mentioned, and it shows a very familiar scene for those of you who are fans of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. Especially even if you just watched Season 1, you can tell who is fighting in that duel. This is a normal trap card that says one target one Ancient Gear monster you control, banish that monster. The monster banished by this effect returns to the field during their next standby phase, and until the end of that turn, its attack is doubled. 2. If an Ancient Gear Golem or Ancient Gear Golem Ultimate Pound you control would be destroyed, you can banish this card from the graveyard instead. This is another new card to help the Ancient Gears, and takes the scene of when Jaden Yuki beat Dr Crowler with his Flame Wingman in the skyscraper setting. I love the design as it takes a well-known scene from Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Episode 1 and puts it straight into the card. As for the first effect, this can be used to respond to your opponent trying to get rid of your Ancient Gears through cards such as Raigeki. You can banish it to protect it as it comes back the next turn. The doubling of its attack is in keeping with the massive beta status that most of the larger ones have, and at most can make something like an ultimate Ancient Gear Golem 8800 attack, which can be enough to finish off your opponent. As for the second effect, this provides a one-time protection for an Ancient Gear Golem card. This provides the Trap a Graveyard effect, which are, in my opinion, some of the best cards in the game, as having double utility can side in better than having to run a set-specific protection. The next card is Ancient Gear Golem Ultimate Pound. This is an Earth Machine level 8 with 3000 attack and 3000 defense, and its effect is cannot be special summoned. If this card attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage up to twice per turn. When this attacking card destroys a monster by battle, you can discard one machine type monster. This card can attack again in a row. If this card on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can add one polymerization from your deck to your hand, and if you do, add one other Ancient Gear monster from your graveyard to your hand. The piercing effect is normal for the bigger Ancient Gears, but to attack up to 3 times within a turn can be game-ending for your opponent, and when it gets destroyed, you get a polymerization and can recover an Ancient Gear monster. You can't say much better than that. This card did not need the reprint. It was a common in the Code of the Duelist, which was the 3rd of August 2017, sorry. I'm thinking of the future. In other words, 3 months ago, a few months ago, and was the previous pack to what we currently have now. The next card is Crystal Beast Sapphire Pegasus. This is a winged beast, level 4 with 1800 attack and 1200 defense. And its effect is, when this card is summoned, you can place one Crystal Beast monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard face up in your spell and trap card zone as a continuous spell card. If this face-up card is destroyed while it is in a monster card zone, you can place it face-up in your spell and trap card zone as a continuous spell card instead of sending it to the graveyard. This card is the strongest within the Crystal Beasts, as well as searching for a Crystal Beast when it is summoned. This was released as an ultra rare in Force of the Breaker on the 16th of May 2007, and its last release was as a common in Raw Yellow Mega Pack on the 17th of February 2012. This has been more than 5.5 years, so has needed the reprint. The next card is Crystal Release. This is an equipment spell card that says equip only to a Crystal Beast monster. It gains 800 attack. When this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can place one Crystal Beast monster from your deck face up in your spell and trap card zone as a continuous spell card. This provides a decent boost, making Sapphire Pegasus 2600 attack and Topaz Tiger when it attacks 2800. If you can get 2 of these on the field, then they can both become over 3000, and when it is sent to the graveyard, it can add a Crystal Beast to your back row. This was released as a super rare in Duelist Pack Jesse Anderson on the 6th of January 2008, and as a common in the Raw Yellow Mega Pack on the 17th of February 2012. This is 5.5 years, and so by that means needs the reprint. Next card is Crystal Tree. This is a continuous spell card that says each time a Crystal Beast monster is placed in either player's spell and trap card zone, place one crystal counter on this card. You can send this card to the graveyard, take a number of Crystal Beast monsters from your deck equal to the number of crystal counters that were on this card. Then place those monsters face up in your spell and trap card zone as continuous spell cards. When a Crystal Beast is placed in the back row, either by their own destruction effect or cards like Crystal Beast Sapphire Pegasus, you can place crystal counters on this card and send it to the graveyard to put a number of Crystal Beasts into the back row. This is good when paired with Crystal Abundance, as you can force having the necessary 4 Crystal Beasts to activate that card, and to search for the Crystal Beasts you want. This was released as a super rare in Duelist Pack Jesse Anderson on the 26th of January 2008, and as an ultra rare in Duel Academy Years Mega Pack on the 4th of October 2011. This is 6 years old and has obviously required the reprint. The next card is Vortex Trooper. This is a wind Aqua level 3 with 0 attack and 600 defense. And its effect is, when this card is normal summoned, you can shuffle 2 cards from your hand into the deck, then draw 2 cards. When this card is destroyed, destroy 1 card. This card can replace your cards with better ones, as well as replacing itself with a card when it is destroyed. This card was used in the duel by Adrian Gecko against Aster Phoenix in order to draw the parts of Exodia. This was in Yu-Gi-Oh! GX episode 144. It had a release as a super rare in Gladiators Assault Special Edition on the 12th of December 2007, and as both a Starfoil rare and a common in Battle Pack Epic Dawn on the 24th of May 2012. So this is 5.5 years ago. The next card is Panzer Dragon. This is a light machine fusion level 5 with 1000 attack and 2600 defense, and requires a machine and a dragon type monster. And its effect is, if this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 card on the field, destroy that target. This is good for a decent destruction effect, as well as being used with instant fusion to bring out a rank 5 Xyz monster. This was released as a rare in Duelist Alliance on the 14th of August 2014, and as a rare in the 2015 Mega Tin on the 17th of September 2015. This is 2 years old, and therefore it does not require the reprint. The last card is Limiter Removal. This is a quick play spell card that says, double the attack of all machine monsters you currently control until the end of this turn. During the end phase of this turn, destroy those monsters. This is used as a finishing card, often within machine decks, otherwise they get destroyed. This is needed alongside Bandit Keith's deck, but was typically used by Dr Crowler. It was used in a duel, I believe it was episode 50, when he was facing off against Chumley. Chumley attacks with his Master of Oz, and then Crowler flips. It was either Master of Oz or it was Big Koala. Crowler flips over Limiter Removal, doubling the Ancient Gear Golem's attack, and then Chumley ends up destroying himself. This card was first released as a rare card in Dark Beginning 1 on the 12th of October 2004, and the latest release was as a common in Legendary Dragon decks on the 5th of October 2017. Out of all the reprints, this is the least needed. Not only has it had a recent release a month ago, but it has been printed a whopping total of 14 times. What do you think of the 2 new cards added? The field spell, obviously, for Bandit Keith, and the protection card for Dr Crowler and his Ancient Gears. How about those reprints? Which are your favourite, and which would you have rather been replaced with something else? Leave your comments down below, like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe, click the bell for notifications, And as always, thank you for taking the time to watch this. Some things will never change.